Let's get a live report from Ukraine now. Joseph Lindsley joining us. And Joe, we hear that Kyiv got hit. Were the missile strikes severe there?
Bob, good afternoon from the snowy streets of Lviv. Kyiv was hit this morning a little bit after 7 a.m. Not by missiles this morning, but rather by these Iranian drones. According to the reports, there were 13 of these drones. These are the menacing little machines. They sound like lawnmowers as they're coming your direction. And 13 of them approached the city today. But according to the reports, all 13 were shot down by Ukrainian defenders. So none of them hit their intended targets. But as they're shot down, they do cause some damage. I don't have any reports of fatalities yet, and so I think the damage was mitigated. But a few buildings were hit. But it was an enormous victory this morning for Ukraine, despite the attack. There's two things Russia's doing now. There's the city of the two primary things Russia is doing right now. The city of Bakhmut, which they've been unable to take since June. They continue to pummel that city with artillery, and there's intense fighting on the perimeter of Bakhmut. And then they're working to destroy Ukrainian infrastructure. And the city of Odessa, which is really was pretty calm for most of the war. Odessa's had major citywide power outages, sometimes 12 hours without water. I was just watching a video of Odessa's the beautiful city on the Black Sea, but the new melody of Odessa is the hum of generators up and down the streets. So people are adapting and preparing to somehow survive this winter.
Yeah, it's amazing how well the Ukrainian forces have done with what they have, and hopefully the training won't take too long, so that can be up and running there for you. Joe, I don't know if you can go online, but if you can, get a Chicago Sun-Times column at the Sun-Times website. Neil Steinberg wrote an interesting story today about the Ukrainian-born musical conductor who debuted with the Chicago Symphony Orchestra. And she talks about her homeland. I'll try to pronounce her name, Dalia Stasevska. And she was born in Kyiv, grew up in Finland, trained as a violinist. She's conducted around the world, but this was her first visit to Chicago, and she was very grateful, she said, for the blue and yellow flags on display. She said, American support has meant so much for Ukraine. I can't underline it enough. The first day I walked in this city and saw Ukrainian flags, it meant so much. Nice story, huh?
Absolutely, and it reminds me, I was talking yesterday with a friend who was telling me the story of a Ukrainian opera singer who volunteered to fight, and he's been fighting in that, again, in Bakhmut, which is like stuff from World War I, how awful it is there. And the report is he's very happy because he was only wounded in the shoulder, so he will still be able to perform as an opera singer, and he will still be able to go back and fight. And so even the artists and musicians here are at the front.
So many uplifting stories in that war-torn country. Joseph, thank you, and we hope for peace as always.
Thank you, Bob.
As I've said before, Joseph Lindsley, world's most interesting man.
This I find in my garden. It's peace from rocket.
Help us to win in the war.